What's up, everybody? Brett here, super stoked today to be bringing you the ridiculous tidal wave of new information that we've gotten on the Silence and the Fury announcement trailer from the email that I got showing Ogre mercenaries. We've got information that one of the lords coming up for FLC is going to be a Dawi. I don't know, guys. It's non-stop overload. I went away for 1 day. I went on like a 1 day, basically like a 2 day, 1 night vacation with my family. And I was gonna exaggerate. I was gonna say I was standing on the top of a water slide when I got the call, the CA bat signal that the announcement trailer had dropped. But no, I saw it when I woke up this morning, and I was like, "Holy crap! I gotta get home and make a video." So, guys, I've seen the trailer once. I think I watched Lore Master of Sotek's take on it because I do value some of his opinions. And I also have yet to read the FAQ, but I did get my email, and I haven't been able to find this image anywhere else of the Ogre. But if you guys are signed up for Total War Access, y'all should have that as well. It's the exclusive Total War Access stuff. So the Great Bray Shaman and the Ogre Mercs. Incredible. But before we do any of that, guys, first off, just real quick, 1,000 subscribers on my channel. It's a huge milestone for me. Thank you to all of you who have been watching over the years, or if you're a new subscriber, I appreciate you too. Big milestone for me. But all right, guys, I will have early access to this DLC. CA has told me so, which is great. Thank you, CA. But let's go ahead and watch the trailer. You guys will probably, if you're as hype as I am, you'll know most of what's going on in the background. You'll know what all this stuff is. And I won't really even need to explain it. For the most part, I'll be quiet. And, yeah, let's go. First off, everyone guessed what was in this cave. And they were right. The ugliest creature in Warhammer. They say in FAQ that it costs an entire Charlemagne. Hold on, is this the exact same trailer as the one we've seen already? No, here it is. Okay, so my bad, guys. The whole first half is like the old trailer, but there it is, the Jabberslythe. Even Oxado's like, what the hell is that thing? And these dudes have explosive darts. There he is, the big man himself. The Troglodytes, see, they're blind, and they spit acid. And the Codal, we get our first look for real at it. The Gorgon there. There was a Wargore for a second in the red with the mace. It's hard to see, though. Damn. Hold on, we're going to go back there for just a second. And I want to say, too... just a second, I said. There we go. There we go. And the color variations, you see the color of the Troglodons. This guy is a priest, right? He's a... I want to say he's a new Lord option. Skink. Chameleon Skink Lord option. Either a Lord or a hero. I'm not 100% sure. But then you've also got a standard Feral Troglodon and another one that's a different color. I think these guys, what we're looking at here, are RORs. And then here you can see the Jabberslythe and the Gorgon here. They have a different face from the other guys. And then you can also see if we can go just for a second. You could see this is a Tuskgore chariot with a guy on the back with a mace. I don't know if that is the Wargore riding the Tuskgores. But maybe. And then this is a red Gorgon in the back that I noticed just now watching it. I realized that the color is red. He's got to be an ROR. And then we also have here, of course, the Codal. You can see it's... I heard Sotek. I heard Sotek talk about the beak. He wasn't quite a fan of the face, but he liked the the twin tails, which I think is a nice touch too, if you know the lore of Warhammer. But I think it looks great. And in the FAQ, they're going to actually describe a bit what the capabilities of the Kotal actually are. Torox looks sick, obviously. I'm kind of like not stating the obvious. Oxado looks amazing, and so does Torox. I love their models. And then I don't think there's anything after the trailer. Sometimes they like to hide stuff, but that's going to be it. Release date, July 14th. Alright, cool. So, and then we get a couple screenshots here that we can, there we go. We can look at maybe a little bit bigger picture of. So there's Torox. We've seen this picture before. There's a really good picture of the Kotals. They're kind of cool. Look, you can see the Jabberslite down here. Lots and lots of these skinky boys. Anything else? There's the Gorgon. There's the Troglodons. Kind of a weird staged picture. Everything looks a little bit like stretched and strange. But yeah. Excited to see how the Kotals play. Especially in multiplayer. What a sick shot of the Gorgon there. And you see these dudes with the maces and the shields? Those are the Wargors. And they look awesome. Jabberslides, look at all the eyes and the creepy articulating mouths. They need a manicure. Once again, more Wargor stuff. And this right here. This must be a Doom Bull, huh? I don't see any weapons. It's got to be a Doom Bull. He looks awesome too. And then one of the new priest units riding a Troglodon. Looks very cool. I love all the Lizardmen gold Aztec kind of themed accents. Very nice. You'll see here kind of the starting army and location for Torox. Big deal. I kind of skimmed through. I didn't have a lot of time to watch the whole stream that CA did over on Twitch, but I have it pulled up on another webpage that we're going to look at. And I can skim through it a little bit and talk about some of the things. I'm going to keep it on mute because it's not my video. But I can skim through it and just kind of briefly remind myself what I saw, and we could talk about it for a bit. Because they go over a lot of the new mechanics. The new Beastmen mechanics are awesome. And just before I forget, they make blood grounds. They get rewards for raising and fighting in it. They have new currencies that basically they store up and use for different things. They have an ability to unlock legendary lords. They like even if you don't have them, it like forces confederation, or if they're dead, you revive them, and then you can have all the other Beastmen legendary lords fight alongside you. They got rid of the goofy like wannabe Bray herd stuff that they were doing, and they gave them herd stones, which are almost like bases that you can fight at. You can be a little more defensive if you want. But I will say this: his starting army is pretty goddamn scary, considering it starts with himself. Probably the scariest thing in the army, and a Gorgon and a Minotaur. I don't know how any of these starting settlements are going to stand up to that. Seems quite impossible. And then here, does Oxado start with one of these guys? He must be a hero unit then. Does he start with one of these? Huh. And he could. You know, a lot of the campaigns, almost all of them in the game, start with a lord, and then he has got some hero. He or she has some hero standing next to them, and you can choose to either, send them out into the world to go do stuff, or you bring them into your army and try to get benefits from them that way. Very basic starting army, but he does get one of the new chameleon skink units, and he does start with 2 groups of chameleon skinks. So he's gonna have a very fun starting army. Lots of kiting potential and ranged potential, even a couple shielded Saurus. To hold your front line for you. And if he is getting a Troglodon like caster right at the beginning, he's also got a powerful monster and magic right off the bat too. Not to mention himself, whatever it is that he can do. And the Lizardmen have Oxado in particular has the ability to kind of like find ancient settlements, because he's from like thousands of years ago, and he's kind of like able to like bring the potential of like the ancient settlements out in certain cities across the map. And from what I saw, he can build kind of uniquely in those places because of his ancient knowledge. I didn't see too much more than that in terms of his mechanics. Oh no, he can teleport. He can jump all around the map. Kind of similar to like what's his name for the High Elves. God dang it. I can't remember his name. The Shadow King. Elithanar. gets like these contracts all over the place. He gets them too, except he can teleport to them and actually make them happen. And it's a pretty cool way to do that. I don't know if there's anything else down here that we could look at. Jabberslide. We get here to see what the actual units are, but this is all going to be in the FAQ as well. Okay, this does give me the regiment's renown. The Pale Death, a feral troglodyte of great renown, which grants itself and nearby friendlies melee buffs whenever it uses its fearsome primeval roar ability. So cool. That's probably the different colored one that we saw. The Pale Death. It's probably the one in the back that's kind of like blue and white. We got Geltblum's Terror. This feral carnosaur of a legendary carnosaur will never rampage and has the Vanguard and Strider abilities, making it the ultimate first strike monster hunter. Oh my god. Playing against something like that on the ladder is going to be super fun. On a lot of the maps, you just Vanguard deploy your Carnosaur just right next to your opponent, and there's all of a sudden in their artillery line, you just got some sick, like nearly unbreakable Tyrannosaurus Rex back there doing work. We've got, and also the Spirit of Tiphawk, a legendary coddle which can cast the Shield of Thorns and Banishment spells. That's sick. Sick. Okay, and the regiments of renown for the Beastmen. The Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run. Centaurs with throwing axes which come with poison attacks as well as health regeneration via their Drunken Bravado passive ability. You know what? I just see this, and I think there is mention of another. So there's two lords coming that they haven't talked about. One of which is a Dawi lord, and the other one, I think I saw it in my email or somewhere else, maybe in the FAQ, is a as yet unnamed Beastman lord. And I think it's gotta be what's his name? The Centaur. I bet it's the Centaur lord. I would put money on it. I can't remember. It's something Warhoof or something. I can't remember what his name is. So many characters. But you could probably look him up. Just Warhammer Centaur lord. I know all of his lore. I just can't remember his name for some reason off the top of my head. But anyway, that's a really strong unit. A kiting unit that's like one of the fastest in the game with HP regen and poison. Wild. We've got the Vorbergland Broodmother, a legendary Jabberslite that can sunder armor with regular attacks as well as via a powerful armor-piercing vortex. Sounds sick. And then this gotta be the guy here, the Blood Brute Behemoth, a legendary Gorgon which deals more damage the lower an enemy's health is, making it the perfect monster slayer. That's almost certainly the red Gorgon that we saw in the back. That sounds incredible, though. Is there anything else here that we want to talk about that we won't get to in the FAQ? Which is really, what I'm interested in. Nope, we'll go to the FAQ now. See what's up there. All right. Just bear with me, guys, as I try to skim for pertinent facts. You see some of my... I do like my podcast. I like my comedy podcasts. Okay. I watch way more than that, too. While I'm exercising and biking and walking and stuff, I always listen to it. All right. Unless there's a bunch of Total War Warhammer news, and then that's all I'm listening to. We've got 2 unique legendary lords leading their own factions. Got it. Powerful new units and heroes for both of them, including, yeah, we know this. Yep. And then the massive free update, which at this point, I think we know pretty much everything about the Silence and the Fury, but what I'd like to know a little more about, and, not to be greedy, but I'd like to know a little bit more about what's coming in the free update, which it says we'll learn more about in the next 24 hours. So I'll have another video to make, that is for sure. We can get 10% off if you buy now. Like I said, July 14th is the go date. Let's see, Lord Pack. Pictures we've seen already. Got it. Lore. We've seen these pictures. All right, the new units. We might as well talk about these right now. The Doom Bull is the new lord for the Beastmen, the most ferocious Minotaurs ever born. They're powerful, resilient, and daze opponents in combat. Don't know what that means, but we'll find out. The Wargore is a hero as well. Carrying a mason shield, they are brutal leaders for their kin, improving their fighting capabilities. I'm so happy to see more hero options and lord options for the Beastmen. They needed it. The Tuskgore chariots, beast-drawn chariots with Vanguard deployment. That's nice. The Gorgons, of course, the giant and mutated Minotaurs, deceptively fast and perfect for taking on larger enemies. So you're anti-large, pretty fast. monster slayers. And then the Jabberslite, the powerful, horrifying fusion of toad, sludge drake, and insect. And a lack of mother's love. Area of effect attacks, debuffs, and worth as much as a Charlemagne. That's a great joke. I'm in on that. I'm in, guys. I'm in the club. And for the Lizardmen, they get the Skink Oracle. That's the name of the unit I was trying to think of. A spellcaster with access to a unique selection of spells from various lores. You gotta love it. They have their Chameleon Stalkers. That's what those dudes are called. I'm gonna have to remember that. They're ambush units with an explosive dart first strike ability. So I don't know if they have their explosive darts like forever. You know, every volley is explosive. It seems like maybe if they attack from stealth, maybe within a certain amount of time from being exposed from stealth, they get like an explosive attack, and subsequent attacks maybe are just poison, something like that. Could be the case. The Kodal is a flying monster, highly intelligent, very scary. So causes terror, probably has a high leadership, and able to hide their allies and bring forth lightning with their magic. So maybe they have like a bound, like Thunderbolt or something like that, or Chain Lightning. That would be crazy. I could see that, and then also possibly, or maybe they like the Thunderous one. Whenever they're engaged in melee or something like that, maybe they have random lightning drops. But their ability to hide their allies could be incredible. Every time you're going to see them on the battlefield, you're going to have to wonder whether or not they are, you know, covering for a larger force that they're hiding. Maybe it's just a spell that can make a small group invisible, but still interesting. And then the Troglodon, the poison-dealing monsters that can also shoot their venomous spit, which is effective against larger targets. All right. And then we've already looked at the Regiments of Renown. I'm glad we did that because I don't think they're listed here. All right. And then the unique mechanics. So let's look at that. Taurox, as well as benefiting from the Beastmen redesign detailed below, rampages through the land with the ability to rapidly move from battle to battle. Defeating enemies, razing cities, and other actions of wanton destruction give him momentum, which allows him to rampage even further. A single turn for Taurox can encompass many battles, razing of settlements, and blood flowing. His other powers all enhance this, creating more and more power in a region as he serves the slaughter. He begins in the Obsidian Peaks region in the western edges of the New World. And then Oxwaddle is a stealthier but no less dangerous foe. He exploits and develops the silent sanctums that exist around the world, and his innate or intimate knowledge of the machinations of chaos allow him to locate and battle threats to the natural order of things regularly. This makes him extremely mobile on the map, and he is never caught trespassing in enemy territory. As a natural enemy of chaos and the greatest of living skinks, he gains bonus experience fighting the former and is an expert at leading the latter. Is he the greatest living skink? Is Tehenowan not the greatest skink? You know what I mean? Is Tic-Tac-Toe not a pretty great skink? Come on, man. Alright, kin with any climate, Oxwaddle begins his campaign in the cold north of the Deadwood. Oh, that's cool. He can settle anywhere. And then more details on both legendary lords and their unique mechanics. Alright. As well as upgrades coming to the Beastmen and Dwarfs will be detailed in the coming weeks leading up to launch. The Dwarfs are my favorite faction. Lizardmen are a close second, and then probably Ogres, which haven't come out yet. But if I had to just choose thematically, I think that's how I would rank them. And then Silence and the Fury free content. 2 major parts of the free patch. Updates for the Beastmen, and a smaller but still significant change to one more faction you'll find out about tomorrow. It's going to be the Dwarfs. Can't wait. The Beastmen update will keep their destructive horde nature, but allow them to temporarily settle down in a region around a herdstone. This forms the central theme of Taurox's campaign to appease chaos, but all Beastmen factions will be able to interact with them. Once the land around a herdstone has been raised and harvested for all the slaughter it can offer, the Beastmen will move on, leaving true destruction in their wake. Alright, guys. They'll be back tomorrow to talk about a new Dwarf Legendary Lord, Mercenary Reinforcements, that's a big mechanic, and a new Beastman Lord, who I think, I'm hoping it's not the Great Bray Shaman, because like I said, I've already got that email, but it could be. I'm hoping it's another unique legend, like another legendary lord, but if it's just a new legendary, no, so many terms. If it's just a new Beastman Lord, it's going to be the Great Bray Shaman, and then the Ogre Murdochs are part of the reinforcements deal, which might be some way they've tried to figure out how to pull like Dogs of War into the game, and if not, it's probably just or even the beginning of such a mechanic, and they plan on adding more stuff to it over time. I don't know. But if we go back up top, this is the video that I was watching, and you guys can find this on your own, of course. Let's get rid of that. See, I like to watch the occasional churn video as well. But they've showcased all these different screens. Let's go ahead and mute that, of course. They watch they talk. There's so much information in this. It's information dense. And as always, it's also, you know, a bit of a chat fest. But here you'll see the starting location of Oxiatl, and you'll also see the kind of up here, this kind of like Aztec temple symbol over the frozen city. That's one of those places you can go capture and then build like a unique type of settlement on top of. And I'm just gonna skip through as I talk, and if I see something new that we might want to talk about, we will go over it. So here, this is the mechanic, visions of the old one. So it shows here there are different tiers of like missions you can go on. And yeah, you travel around, you get those done. You unlock certain rewards, I'm sure. And I'm guessing you can like teleport. Very cool. I mean, it's its own little thing. It looks well polished as well. And then here, this is like what you get. So, violet ends to dark paths. Defeat the Lord in battle. Got it. What you get is 6 Sanctum Gems, which I don't know how that plays yet. And then you get a bunch of experience for all your armies for 5 turns. And if you fail, you have some negatives there as well. Okay. I think they auto-resolved a battle here. There's that hero we were talking about. He is indeed inside of the army. See some new items too in the pool that I haven't seen before. And this is the kind of the screen for the frozen city thing that I was talking about. They go on to talk about it a little bit, but the gentleman, Blondie, the content producer in the bottom, he doesn't want to show a whole lot of stuff off. So they're keeping some of it kind of secret, which I guess I get. Here we go. This is the what the heck? Trying to make sure I get this. Yeah. So instantly travel using this mechanic here. All right. What else? Yeah, if you go to the screen, you can see all the different regions that have that kind of potential to build there. Okay. And in a minute, they're going to go over to the Beastmen side and start looking at that. So you get a chance to see the Herdstone for the first time. And then, you know, it has its own garrison. It has things I think you can upgrade. You can actually build there. And then as they begin to zoom out, you can see the red on the ground is what they call the Beastmen blood grounds. And these numbers and symbols here, if you are to go and raise and sack these areas, this number is added to some sort of number total to your Herdstone. And then after that accumulation, the rampage, you unlock, I think, these numbers up here, which allow recruitment at your Herdstone for better and better units. So yeah, look, when you see it from space, basically, from Sputnik, you can see any of the cities that fall within this area will give Taurox those particular buffs. And you can get a chance to see like the Herdstone here at Venom Glade, and you have the chance to build there. And it does have a garrison. I don't think they ever show what the garrison is. I like to know stuff like that. But then they're going to get into this, like I talked about, the kind of recruitment. You have to spend these points to unlock the recruitment via this panel. There's a Lord and Hero option. There's upgrades and items that they do not show. The Gorgon portrait's down here. The Jabberslythe is there. Looking good, looking good. Man, Giants will never get love. I love Giants so much. People just hate on them. Oh, and there's the Tuscarora Chariots as well. Looking sick. And then just to show you guys the Lord screen also. And there are the hero options there. But yeah, to pull these dudes into your campaign, if you like, I love Kazrak. I think he's super cool. I think they say at the end that Malagar can fly. Malagor the Dark Omen, with his wings that never allowed him to do anything but shuffle along the battlefield. I think he can fly. That's what I read. I read that on Reddit. Don't quote me on that. But they said at the end of this video, they said they can fly. And there's also a new way to unlock the new tech for the Beastmen, because before it was it's just a bunch of gold, and now that's not the case. So there's conditions, some of it's conditional. That's very cool. It's a nice change. Let's see what we can see. Come here. And yeah, Torok's Rampage, his Rampage mechanic will give him different buffs as he goes further down it. We'll learn more about that later. Definitely when we play a campaign, as we should be playing a Torok's campaign together, although I'm a little torn between Torok's and Oxotl personally. I like both. I've been waiting for both for a long time. Ever since I learned about Torok's and his character, I've wanted to play as him. And ever since I learned about Oxotl and his character, I wanted to play as him. And I'm talking like years ago, when I was starting to deep dive into Warhammer lore and just wanted to know everything about every character I could find. But guys, I'm stoked. Hope you guys are just as stoked as I am. Look forward to tomorrow whenever we find out who that Dawi Lord is. And yeah, just whatever other information is going to be coming. I can't wait. So, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brett. Channel's Goodtalk Gaming. And as always, y'all, I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.